Now, Victoria's announcement yesterday by the Premier, as I said, it was crushing news. Of course it was. The announcement that Victorians would continue to live under curfew and be under these restrictions for many months, if not just weeks, in the most harsh of those restrictions, of course is crushing news. And I know Victorians, and Greg has just joined us today directly from Victoria. The feeling out there today is hard. They're frustrated. The mental health of Victorians will be sorely tested. The plan that was outlined yesterday, I hope, is a worst-case scenario. I see it as a starting point in terms of how this issue will be managed in the weeks and months ahead in Victoria. We will continue to carefully review this plan. We're yet still to receive the detailed modelling. We've seen the high-level modelling and the other assumptions that have gone into the plan. But what I can't help but be struck by is that under the thresholds that have been set in that plan, Sydney would be under curfew now. Sydney doesn't need to be under curfew now. They have a tracing capability that can deal with outbreaks. That's why I say it's important that we work on building that tracing capability in Victoria to get it at a level that enables it to move in a more confident way than I think the plan that was announced yesterday set out. It was a very detailed plan, and it is based on a set of scientific modelling, and that is what I know will be interrogated, not just by the Commonwealth Government, but many others in the scientific community will look at that. And the decisions that have been drawn from that modelling have very profound effects for people living in Victoria. And so it's right, and I'm sure Victorian Government would welcome that interrogation of that. We will be providing constructive feedback on that plan. We will be sitting down with industry. We will be sitting down with business through our national coordinating mechanism, which is run out of the Department of Home Affairs. And we'll listen carefully and we'll faithfully convey all of that feedback. As I said, I hope it's a starting point. I hope we can move more quickly than that. Obviously, the legal authority for all of these matters, of course, rests with the Victorian Government. It's not for the Commonwealth Government. We do not have that authority to step in and tell the Victorian Government they have to follow another plan. That is not how Australia's federation works. And so it is incumbent upon us to work constructively with the Victorian Government to raise these issues as we will with them in the days, and I imagine the weeks ahead, and remain always responsive to the most recent information. And so building that tracing capability is incredibly important. The other thing that I'd be looking forward to seeing soon is the announcement by the Victorian Government about what the economic support plan they will be delivering to Victoria to mitigate the economic consequences of the plan that they've outlined. It is right that the Victorian Government make the first response to set out what the economic supports are they will put in place to deal with the measures that they have put in place. The Commonwealth Government is already providing significant assistance to Victorians through the many programs we've had in place now for many months, and particularly the extension of JobKeeper and JobSeeker. Victoria will draw down on that more than any other state or territory. Victorians are being supported more by the federal government than any other state and territory is drawing on that support, and we will continue to do that. So what is required over and above the support the Commonwealth Government is providing to Victorians, we first want to see what the Victorian Government will be doing to address that. And then we'll consider, the Treasurer and I and the senior members of the Expenditure Review Committee, what further measures may be required. But let me finish on this. Australia is in the leading pack of countries in the world today for how we are protecting Australians' health and protecting their livelihoods. That is the clear, objective assessment of countries all around the world, and I refer particularly to the Deloitte analysis that was released over the last few days, which shows clearly that Australia sits in the right part of that chart with countries like South Korea, economies like Taiwan and others who are managing this best in the world today. And we can take some encouragement from that, and we can take some hope from that. And the other thing Australians can take hope from today is that their government, their Australian government, their federal government, is providing hope through a sovereign vaccine plan which will keep Australia right up the front.